What'd you say?
That's a really big deer, but I'm not touching the trigger.
This is it. Last day of gun season. You gotta look excited.
I am.
Are you? Let's hope he shows up.
Yeah.
Well, what's up, guys? It's Daniel in Houston from Arms Family Homestead. And like I said, it's the last day of rifle season 2022 in Oklahoma. We've had a lot of great encounters. Houston's got to see Limpy Gimpy twice. We've hunted this deer for 2 years. Last year, we never even saw him on the hoof, just pictures. This year, we've had a few encounters. I could have taken him with a bow the day before rifle season, but I decided not to so that he would have the opportunity to hunt this deer. And we have hunted him hard, right? Had 2 really close encounters last night. Should have, by all means, got a shot at him, but we didn't, and that's okay. So we're going to go back and try again. Today's Sunday. We're going to hunt for a couple hours this morning. It's starting to rain just a little bit. It's about 35 degrees, something like that. So should be a good morning. We're going to hunt for a couple hours and then go to church. If we don't get him, we'll be back after him this evening. Yep. Ready?
Yeah.
So let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen him before. Just not up close. He stayed pretty far out one day. Get ready. He might not be the only one. One last chance. Last day, last evening, last sit for rifle season. One last chance for Houston to get a shot at Limpy Gimpy.
In any sort of way, if I can get a shot, if it's close to the lungs or the neck or the heart, I'm shooting at it.
Well, we're settled in the blind for our last sit of gun season. And we've changed things up a little bit because Limpy Gimpy has been messing with us. But we're completely turned. We're not shooting out of the front side of the blind today. We're going to be switching it up and shooting out of the left side. Even though 98% of the deer are going to be on this side of the blind, I'm going to show you. We switched it up. So instead of shooting up or setting up for shooting out this direction where most of the deer come in under these oak trees, Limpy Gimpy came in twice now from this little opening down here, and it was really hard to try to move the blind around or move the gun around in the blind, move the windows and all that with him watching this. He stood 125 or 30 yards over there for 16 minutes yesterday, and if he stands in the same spot today, we've got this guy set up to where he can make a shot, and hopefully he does what he did the last few days. Nice 8 point though. I've seen it. I think that's that deer I had here during when I was bow hunting.
It's definitely not Lumpy Gimpy.
No.
Because that deer's even. This rack is even. Dude, look at his back right leg. You see his back leg, right leg.
What'd you say?
That's a really big deer, but I'm not touching the trigger. Listen, if he stays for a while and Limpy Gimpy doesn't show up, I'll shoot him. If Limpy Gimpy doesn't show up.
I don't know about it. You're waiting on one buck, you said.
I know, but if he's still here, pretty close to dark, almost where we have to leave, and Limpy Gimpy doesn't show up, and he's still here, I'm not shooting him.
Well, the stage is set. We got deer on our left, deer out in front of us. Got a really, really nice 8 point out here. We're running out of time. It's 10 after 5. Got about 25 more minutes of shooting light, something like that. I think Limpy Gimpy's gonna show up. There's a big buck in the field right now that's chasing around his does. He's got to come defend his honor, right? I hope so. Well, it's actually been a couple days. The other night after today, filming this on Tuesday, last day of rifle season was Sunday. Limpy Gimpy didn't show up, and that's part of hunting. And some hard lessons were learned over the last 2 weeks. It's been an interesting rifle season, to say the least. And you talk about a level of disappointment. After we came back into the shop on Sunday night after it got dark to put all of our stuff away, Houston said, "Dad, please don't film right now. I don't want to be on video right now." So it's 2 days later and he's at school and we didn't film anything. Him and I stood out here in the shop for probably 10 minutes and talked about everything that went on during the youth rifle season, during the regular rifle season, mistakes that were made, things we could have done differently. And it was good. Every kid is different, I'm telling you. And Houston is our emotional, wear his feelings on his sleeve, worrier, I guess you'd say. And he was so worried that I was going to be disappointed in him for not getting the shot off on Limpy Gimpy when he had the chance. Now, is it all his fault? Absolutely not. And reading the comments on these videos, those last several videos about Limpy Gimpy, I know there's this whole crowd that's rooting for Limpy Gimpy, Team Limpy Gimpy. We want him to survive. And then there's the other side that says you need to take that deer because he is injured and he's eventually going to get taken down by predators, by coyotes, or suffer a long cold winter and not make it through it. But aside from that, this was the first time Houston at 10 years old has ever really targeted one specific buck and went after that specific buck. And having that rifle on the tripod might have cost us a couple opportunities at Limpy Gimpy trying to get shuffled around and moved around in that ground blind. But I'm proud of the kid. I'm so proud of him. And a lot of people think that Houston didn't actually really want to shoot Limpy Gimpy, and that couldn't be any farther from the truth. The last 2 weeks, that kid, that's all he's talked about. It literally got in his brain. He caught the bug this year. He caught that bug this year to go after one specific buck. And when he was in the area, Houston was like, we've got to hunt. And, you know, we spent the first week or so trying to get Emily a buck. Houston hunted a little bit, and you know, Limpy Gimpy was here and there and not showing up consistently. And once we patterned him and figured him out and knew where he was coming in, knew where he was going to be, you know, we just couldn't make the shot happen. And that's why they call it hunting, not killing or harvesting. I mean, it's hunting. And Limpy Gimpy is a very mature, very smart deer. He came in the other night for 16 minutes and never took a step. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced in the woods. I've had a lot of big bucks freeze up on me and turn around and leave, but not for 16 minutes without taking a step. And you know what? I am so proud of Houston. I'm so proud of our family. So proud of my kids being involved in this stuff because they're enjoying what I enjoy, at least for now. Weston used to love the deer hunt. Weston has a big buck on the wall, doesn't really enjoy it anymore, and that's okay. So we went the basketball route with him. And Emily is a cold-blooded, she doesn't like to show emotion. She doesn't want anybody to know her feelings. And when it comes to deer hunting, she likes it, she enjoys it, and she likes the competitive side of it because she's involved in sports too, but she wants to kill a bigger buck than the boys. That's her biggest goal. And that's fine. We go out, we spend a lot of time in the woods together, and this year she killed a pretty good buck. Spent a lot of time in a ground blind, passed up on a few. And speaking of passing up on a few, what about that buck that Houston passed up the other night? The last day of rifle season, a buck that's bigger than anything Houston has ever shot comes out. And he stuck to his goal of maybe Limpy Gimpy will show up one more time.
What'd you say? That's a really big deer, but I'm not touching the trigger.
I'm proud of the kid for passing up a really good buck that next year is going to be, he's going to be a big one. That 8 point's going to be a big deer next year. So, yeah, not the ending that we wanted to rifle season. However, bow season technically doesn't end. Deer season doesn't end until January 15th. Now, Houston doesn't bow hunt. He's a little too small for that. But we could, Oklahoma has legalized crossbows, so he could crossbow hunt. I don't own a crossbow right now, so depending on Limpy Gimpy, we may maybe get an early Christmas present. I don't know. We'll have to see what he does on the cameras and see his movement, see if we can pattern him. But I don't know. He may, he should be, barring some bow hunter catching him in the next month or so. He should make it till next year. Hopefully, if predators don't get him or the cold doesn't get him. Yeah, I don't know. Not the ending we were hoping for, but that's hunting. And you know what? I call this a very successful deer season. I didn't take a deer this year, which is pretty typical. I get the kids out, get the kids in the woods, and I have so much fun filming because we film for the YouTube channel and for Final Descent Outdoors, so you'll be able to watch all of the harvest stuff on TV, on Final Descent Outdoors, and filming hunts is incredibly difficult, but I enjoy it. I love getting to spend time in the woods and document the process and get that footage, that good quality footage. You know, Houston had a chance at Limpy Gimpy for a few seconds that last time the other day, but I made him hold off for about 5 seconds until I could get the camera moved and I got the buck in focus, and about the time Houston was squeezing the trigger, he spun around and left, and that's what those big mature bucks are good at, I guess. So filming the hunts is what I do. I shoot them with the camera. I'll shoot them with a gun or a bow too if they're big enough, but I don't know. I've got every successful deer hunt and so many more unsuccessful deer hunts that my kids have ever had on YouTube and on TV, and that's awesome. I love it. It's so much fun. So anyways, deer season's kind of winding down unless we decide to go that crossbow route. So deer season's not over, but it is winding down. So once the season ends, then you just start preparing for the next season. And I've got a lot of things coming outside of deer, but that's where my focus is at a lot of times, and property management, property maintenance. I want to do a better job of planting more food plots and preparing the property, the two properties, for growing bigger deer, because the Mill Creek property had some really phenomenal bucks on trail camera all year. I don't show a lot of that stuff before the season and during the season because you don't want to put all that stuff out there for locals to trespass and poach and shoot from the road and be looking for your deer and all that stuff. I don't own the deer. When I say my deer, I just mean the ones that I have on camera that I'm targeting. Or if they're standing right in front of us and I'm looking at them, like, hey, look at our deer out there. I don't own them. They're wildlife. But both this property and the one at Mill Creek have some really good future bucks coming. We left a lot of good deer. We harvested 2 deer this year. Houston's one during youth rifle season and Emily's buck over at Mill Creek. And there's still a lot of good bucks running around that are going to shed their antlers and get even bigger next year. So we're going to start planning ahead for next deer season, start working on some better deer blinds. I'm not sure, we may buy some box blinds or may build some better elevated box blinds where we can move around a little bit and not be in a bind where a kid can't go from one window to the other because there's does 10 yards in front of us. I do have something you'll probably see on the next video. Something really, really exciting, something I've been looking forward to for a long time. I'll give you a little hint if you're smart enough, if you know enough about the world. We have some big things coming, or have already arrived maybe, to help us make this place and the Mill Creek place better. Property maintenance, a lot of work to get done, a lot of things to do, and hopefully grow some bigger deer and make both places just better in general. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.